Welcome back to the channel, and today we have Nabatea, Rome defending against Macedon, and I think that's Arverni.
We stand here for those who cannot fight, those who rely on us to defend their homes.
So I played as Nabatea in this battle. Now, I will say I think I did a good job in trying to hold them off. So what my goal was try to take out Macedon, or at least dwindle them down enough. I kept my men off the walls, but what really went to fight them were these Nabatean Axe Warriors. Now, I brought chariots to this battle, and I believe they did some good damage when I used them. Let's see, I think the first engagement happened with Macedon and Nabatea. Let's take a look at, well, I believe this is, can't remember really their name. But let's take a look at some of their warriors. They got Quident warriors. They got the Naked warriors. They got the Chosen swordsmen. They have got a lot of Chosen swordsmen. Let's go see what Macedon has. Macedon has Thorax swordsmen. A lot of Thorax swordsmen. Shield bearers. Thorax pikemen. Two things of Thorax pikemen. Archers. Oh, and the royal pikemen. Let's take a look at these royals. Oh no. Oh yeah, royal. No, they're royal. Never mind. I thought those were pikemen. Nope, my bad. But as you can see, I am sending men over to hold. The gate just got destroyed. Oh, and we have our first engagement right here on the walls. And truth be told, this was my first battle with the Nabatean faction. I had never played with them before. But let's go check out my ally Rome. Looks like he's moving out some legionary cohort. I don't know why he kept his main force over here at the center. If we were set up way earlier, I think we would have had this. But I don't think I could have taken like two armies with the micro. So I focused on Macedon. We also have these ex-warriors fighting these Thorax swordsmen on the wall. Now, I've got no idea what this faction over here is doing. All I know is I was trying to defeat this army, and what was annoying, these guys held for quite a little bit, these axemen right here, even though being cornered. I think they did well for their price. As you can see, I'm sending some more axemen down here. So, I believe it was my fault that most of my army was back here. I should have had more troops up here in this defense, in my opinion. Maybe I should have saved some archer ammo as well, because my entire army was pretty much holding here. And look at this, look at this. They're already preparing their pikes. Now, I was sending some... yes. I was sending some elite noble swordsmen to go help hold. Like, I kind of wanted to put them in, like, a square formation. As you can see, I was trying to set up, like, a square. Keep them at this gate. The battle over here, not going so well. But I gotta say, I like the Nabatea. They were actually a pretty good faction to play with. Now, I also like the design of the Nabatea. I thought they were a nice design, with all the different varieties of helmets. You got some just wearing cloth. Oh, and look at this. Look at the floodgate of men marching through. Oh, it looks like we got some action from Rome, and I wish it would say the faction name on top of the flag. Yes, but it looks like they moved in. I don't know why my ally did this. He put all of his archers here, and why did he get 5 sets of archers? Now, I don't really mind that he put them here. It's the fact they were unprotected. And take a look at this. They're unprotected. They're in the open. And they're sending swordsmen to take down these slingers. Oh, these may actually be javies. No, I think they're slingers. These chosen swords are going to slaughter his archers. See? Most of his army's here. Now, if he had men here, he could have easily plugged that gap. But because he didn't have any forces here, he may have been expecting me to send up my my spears, my hoplites. Truth be told, I wasn't focused over here. I was too focused on Macedon and this gate. Because this was pretty much a grind here. I also had worried about these forces over here, in case they wanted to go to the gate. Like, see, you can see my retreating forces. But I was worried they were going to try to go to the gate. So I was constantly microing here. I did not pay attention here. Now, later around a little bit down the road, I did. As see, you can. I'm tearing down this barricade, and you'll see why I'm tearing down that barricade in a few moments. So, one thing I didn't realize, and I feel kind of bad about, is these hoplites. They were attacking the backs of this unit, and thought I wasn't microing. Which I admit, I was a little bit busy over here. Because I had finally noticed that his archers were being hunted down. So I was sending forces to go help with that. And I was sending in Cav too. Let's look at this Cav charge. I had shifted them over to another unit. Character I'm spectating stuck in the crowd. You know what, we'll get overhead view of this. So I had sent over to quickly try to get rid of this unit here of Chosen Swords. And it worked. What I should have done is, instead of just plugging this gap, I should have rushed these spears. Because I did a bit of damage with this Cav alone. It does look like we have some fighting up here with some of the Thorax Swordsmen. And I believe my Nabatea Axes. Axe-Warriors. One thing I was happy about this fight is this here. These Nabatean axes held for so long. Yes, this is where I was saying. They were attacking the backs of my spears. And I was too busy with the Cav to notice. But when I noticed, I set in these axes and they butchered these hoplites. Absolutely butchered. One thing that really irritated me in this battle were these hoplites. Or not hoplites, but pikemen. I could not get rid of them. Let's see what that Cav's doing. Oh, it looks like they're pulling out. Yeah, once he got his main army up here, I pulled out this Cav to try to go for another. I guess my ally wasn't paying attention because his Roman forces got surrounded here. My ally, and they still have forces way back here. If he had plugged in that gap a little bit earlier, he could have probably taken out all this force. Because he still had forces back here for quite a while. We've got another epic Cav charge. Going after his archers. I had converted my cavalry over to the archers. Because you take out archers, they're a key component in battles. And unfortunately, I could not take down Macedon's archers. Yeah, he luckily saved some of his archers, but I managed to at least take down one of his archers' units before I think this Cav unit got taken out. Let's go back to the battle up here. So, I found this funny. They ran by the Macedon Thorax Swordsman, and I noticed, like, I think around this time, so they charged. But yes, here, this was just a grind. It was a grind. He had kept pouring in troops. And this is around the time these Axe Warriors, these exhausted warriors, had done so much holding these Thorax Swordsmen. Not just one, but actually, well, no, yeah, 2 Thorax Swordsmen for the longest time. In fact, before they go, I want to see how many kills they got. They had got 38. And these Axe warriors over here. What they got 70, 80. Impressive. I would search that cav unit, but I think, yeah, the cav unit got taken out by now. Yes, this is where I pushed in a little bit, wanting to do some damage to try to help my ally over here. Truth be told, this was going well for us for a little bit. We were doing damage. I should have told him that he had men outside the walls. And I was a bit concerned about this here. But I was too focused on this. This grind. He had sent in, and this is a risky strategy, sending in all your units pretty much at once. Sometimes it backfires and sometimes it doesn't. One thing that he did do well was protecting his pikes by doing this. He had so many bodies, so many other units mixed in, that my archers could not focus the pikes. And as you can see, he's pretty much drained all my reserves, which is pretty bad. Because I had all my reserves were pretty much in this battle. I was sending in my last bit of reserves while I had... Oh, please tell me I didn't miss it. Oh, yes, the chariots. So, I pulled these guys back from being in melee from these Cleatant warriors because of this. Because I was sending in my chariots to do some damage. And look at what damage they did to this unit from just this. 7, 8, 10, 12, 20, 30. See, they absolutely destroyed these warriors. And I sent them in for these chosen swordsmen. We'll see how many kills they got later on before they end up dying. And yes, I wanted to make the push. I was starting to push on my enemy. And I was keeping my micro focused on this. And smart on him, he had sent his spears. Eventually, I fell back because I could not hold this. And I sent my axemen to try to go stop these, I believe, thorax swordsmen from throwing spears and hopefully take them out. Because my men were active, theirs were exhausted. Oh, what are the chariots doing? No, I don't know why he did this. He was sending this unit over here. And what I did is I quickly pulled out these spears so they wouldn't be crossed in the crossfire of this. In fact, let's see how many kills they already got. 145. Wow. We did damage to this army. Now, I didn't like the fact that he still had a whole bunch of Oathsworn. Where were these guys hiding? These are like the very heavy infantry. I don't know what I did with... Oh, I remember what I did. This was stupid of me. I sent the, these, well, you know, chariots to go here. And I forgot my enemies had pikes and a whole lot of spearmen. Yeah, you probably figured out what happened to my chariots. Because they didn't lose a single one when going up against the other army. And I kind of sent them to their death here. And I gotta say, good play on Macedon, the player that did Macedon, for the way he used his archers. Yeah, I had to send my general down this way to try to hold. And it got so bad, I had to send these forces here back. Most of my army died here. I think right here we should have just retreated, to be honest. We should have just called a retreat, because I was losing on this front. I admit I was losing. I had done some damage. These chariots ended up breaking. They got at least almost 300 kills, though, before fleeing the battlefield, which is impressive. Even gained some kills off the general unit, so I believe my money was well spent on the chariots. Yes, but everything else here pretty much fell. My army crumbled amongst the weight of Macedon. And as you can see here, he's starting to pull back some of his forces because he lost on this front. And the player that did Rome got his men surrounded quite a few times. Now, this is where I was pulling these back, because one thing I wanted to do, I wanted to save my general from dying in combat, because I don't want my general to die this early in game. And as you can see, there's still 22 minutes in the video. You're probably wondering, how did you manage to withstand another 22 minutes? Truth be told, this battle was an hour long. So within these next 20 minutes or so, we'll explain if I lost or won. Yeah, and I think I called a retreat around this time. I was pulling forces out. Around this time it was. But let's look on the wall. I was starting to lose this up here because he was focusing them down with archers. My men were severely outnumbered, but I was still winning on this front right here. And me taking out these chosen swords was big achievement. In fact, this unit had 69 kills. Of course, he's gonna send another one to try to weaken them. They're just active. Again, he still had a lot of reserves left, where my army was pretty much done for. To be fair, Nabatea doesn't have the best troops. They do have some decent troops, however. And I wanted my general, my palace guards, to be safe. So I had sent in my Karanva. Please don't. Sometimes I get the names wrong. Spears to try to hold here. And here, I sent over some desert hoplites. I was trying to save my noble swordsman. I wanted these guys to leave the battle, to be in it for a little bit late game. So, I called it. I called a retreat fully. I pulled out this unit, and I think about 4 units being the spears, and general and the noble swords. Everyone else of my army pretty much fell here. Now, Nabatea was doing it smart. He was waiting for his troops from getting untired before he charged my spear wall. Here, he had sent his general to take on my retreating desert hoplites, so I had to turn and face him. Because my friend was getting flanked, as you can see, by the Oathsworn, which is a really good melee unit. They were trying to chase him down, but they ended up surrounding. I admit, these desert hoplites were going to lose to this general. They were winded. Now, I am happy they got over 100 kills. Let's focus on some Rome battling for right now. Oh, a cav charge with the general. Right into the back of the Oathsworn. Unfortunately, they only killed one of them with that charge. Truth be told, the Oathsworn are pretty tough. They're already getting kills, like 34. They're climbing with the kills. So my ally was doing some cycle charges with his general, and he noticed. And this was around the time my army just pretty much crumbled. So this was basically a delayed strategy. I was trying to delay them until my general and noble swords got back to the victory point, which is right here. This was our victory point. Now, he had a lot of Eagle cohort back here. And he saved some archers as well. I don't think they have ammo, though. No, they have their daggers out, which mean they're out of ammo. So I did this. I didn't realize I had my catapult targeting these guys. So, again, Macedon was doing pretty well on taking on my forces. That grind on the gate pulled out for him. I think it was really because of those pikes that they pulled through. I do think I did take one of them out. These pikes were annoying to deal with. Now, I'm not mad that I lost most of my army in this engagement, but it was a huge defeat for me and victory for the attackers. Now, I'm gonna be honest, these spearmen don't last long. As you can see, I was trying to transition these desert hoplites out of there, and these other desert hoplites I ended up sending to support my Roman ally. Anything to at least weaken these Oathsworn. They're already exhausted. That is a buff. But these Triarii are also very tired or exhausted. So I sent this depleted unit that's very tired to at least do some damage. Unfortunately, he noticed, and really good on him for countercharging my spears. These spears are not going to last long. He also tried to go in and do a cav charge, which again amounted to pretty much nothing against the Oathsworn. He got one other kill, but I don't think that cav charge was worth it. Again, this was pretty much a full-on retreat here with my remaining army. I was walking them because I didn't want them to be exhausted by the time they fell back. And this is where we just called it a retreat. We pulled everything out. He lost his Triari. Honestly, I'm surprised I had to send them back because I wanted to pull my army back. Like, I tried to, but they got stuck in melee with archers, which were pretty annoying because I couldn't get them out. Because my plan was to save these desert hoplites. Unfortunately, he countered that. Which, good on him for using his archers as a sacrificial unit while I was trying to get these desert hoplites out. Because I also tried to do like a flanking charge. Just a little bit, amounted to pretty much nothing though. Like maybe a few kills. But let's look at these. 105 with what? And 100. They're both pike units. They're both pikes. Oh no, those are actually the round. Shield. No, those are shield bearers. Okay, the pikes have 100. Yeah, pikes have 137. He's now just pulling out his general. Again, I'm surprised these Triari I held for so long. So again, this is just basic. These guys had no chance of escaping. I will admit that. So I abandoned the idea of just trying to get them out and charge them. I was contemplating sending a unit back to maybe try to save them. And I sent my spear unit of desert hoplites that I did manage to save to hold this gap right here. I tried to tell my ally because the other enemy army did a little tactic to get around them. And honestly, wait. I gotta look at Macedon. Most of his army is worn out. Again, it was a risky strategy trying to, go through the gate because your men are going to get exhausted. It was pretty much a gamble. If I had chosen another faction, I think I could have held longer there. Or if I had focused down those pikes way earlier on. So I think the only battling right now is happening, yeah, right here with these desert hoplites. Gosh, how many? I didn't even dwindle their pikes to half. Pikes in this game is pretty much, their only weakness is archers. You gotta take out pikes. They will decimate units. It's either you gotta flank them, you gotta hit them with archer fire, or else they just kill your men. They destroy Cav. Again, they started to break here. Let's see if there's any other fighting happening. Oh, looks like these Thorax Horsemen are about to rush my Desert Spears. Now, I do love... I am saying... I think I did well at holding for a certain period of time. Like, I held at that point for around 30 minutes. Again, these these spears won't hold against these shield bearers, which are still fresh. And this was the little thing I was mentioning earlier, how I think Arverni got around my men. He got his men on the wall. I thought I destroyed the stairs, but I guess, because I thought if you destroyed this, like, front wall here, it would take out these stairs as well. I was wrong. He got up on these walls and came down here. I think we were both too busy microing to where we lost track of some stuff. Like, he was micromanaging here, which he got his men surrounded, which happens. Although these desert hoplites will not last long against the Warwick swordsmen and these spears. And the general. What's the general of Macedon? Shield bearers. And there you have it. And plus they're throwing javies at me. Which left me with just my remaining troops right here. Now as soon as I saw these guys over here, I had to send my general, because you can come down this way. This is an actual way, an actual path you can use. So I had to send my general to plug in this gap. Now, I have to admit, we dwindled their numbers down a lot. But I don't think we dwindled them down enough. Because these Oathsworn pretty much got behind this defense. And again, they were trying to dwindle down my noble swordsmen. So I put them in shield wall, which later, in a few moments, I realized was a mistake. And I'll tell you why, or I'll show you why. Again, I don't know why he didn't really commit anything to my general. These Oathsworn are no joke, though. But thing is, my ally had left gaps in his defense, which I was trying to plug every gap I saw on my defense over at this gate. There were tons of casualties. Yes, I managed to see it in time. Luckily, I had those other noble swordsmen to block these, royal, peltists? Oh, I'm probably looking at the archer unit, yeah. No, that is a spear unit, okay. Where's that sword unit? I can't tell. No, it is a sword unit. I had managed to block, and I had signaled my ally to come and help me. Again, I think I should have did this earlier. I should have set my general upward to, like, try and get some of these men to go down this way. Which I should have just sent it upward. And if you could see, he was considering it. He was considering it. He just didn't go. And again, here comes these pikemen. Pikemen absolutely kill armored infantry. I don't know if my ally actually held over here for the rest of the battle, because I was too busy micromanaging on the other front. But let's take a look at these Eagle cohort, who look great. Although I think the Oathsworn, like, I don't care what people think, because he did well on cycling out his Oathsworn. Although this one back here just pretty much got slaughtered. Now, let's see how much kills they got. Because, look, they're tearing down these Eagle cohort. This Oathsworn got 300 kills pretty much before they fell. That is insane. Again, does he have any? And he still has reserves. He has 100 more of the Oathsworn they pulled back. His general, which is Oathsworn. The Macedon's general, some Thorax swordsman. And look, some more Oathsworn. Although that one's not going to do much damage, but still. And we go back over here. Yes, so I had set my general this way, hopefully to get behind them without noticing. But he had to be smart, and I've never seen anyone do this. He set up a wall of hoplites, pretty much, to hold back my spears. Although then, he was trying to be smart with me when it came to this little rear battle. And you'll see why. Just notice, he pulled out those swordsmen for a reason. Which, I think he's actually a spear swordsman unit. I don't know. Now, I noticed that he pulled them out because I was microing my general, which was the last unit I had on the battlefield. And I noticed what he was trying to do. He was trying to go around me. Try to flank my general. I think we could have had this victory because it's late game. And to be honest, this happened to my ally, which pretty much finished him off. Which what really sucks is that he managed to kill my Roman ally by surrounding him with Oathsworn. Let's go back over here. So I did notice that he had sent his swordsman try to flank me, so I did something he wasn't expecting. I had sent my general backwards, and then I did this. I pulled it behind him, so I had the rear advantage. But somehow, these swordsmen managed to get behind me. Now, I think I was too distracted because I heard my ally was completely destroyed in the next, like, minute or 50 seconds of this battle. So I was too busy worrying about that my ally just got destroyed. And then when I came over, these swordsmen were somehow behind my lines. I don't know how. Oh, they squeezed through. They pushed through to get behind me. Now, there's a risk by doing that. Pushing your men backwards to get behind a unit. And most of the time, it ends up being the unit being destroyed. or having to flee the battlefield. Which, to be honest, I hate when that happens. Yep, and this is around where my ally ended up being taken out. This is his last unit of Eagle Cohort, and it breaks. It finishes here. So even though I had lost my army pretty much way early, I was the last one in this battle. My general didn't die, so he fled the battle. I have to say though, my ally's general did die. I may have killed the Macedon general. But I think the Oathsworn, this army's general, was still alive and intact. And this is where the replay ends. I hope y'all enjoyed. And let me know if you want some more Rome 2 battles. I'll even throw some of my own stories in if y'all like. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll be back with some more Total War Rome 2. And also, try to get me to 40 subscribers before the end of the month.